to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How they gonna hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day, y'all productive day. We back at it. Before I start, make sure y'all smash the like button, hit the subscribe button on the road to 1K subscribers. But let's talk about it. So big news just broke. I was reading the article. So Canelo Alvarez says his asking price for the fight with David Benavidez is $150 million to $200 million. And that's for a fight with David Benavidez. And basically, you know, he's letting you know that this fight can't be done. I don't want to fight the guy. You know, him asking for that type of money, there's no U.S. promoter that's going to come up with $200 million for you to fight David Benavidez. And you know, you're going to have to pay David Benavidez at least half of that. So you're going to be looking at a tab of $300. Or, you know, David's going to want a piece. So he, you know, at least 50, you know, you're going to be running 250 for sure. You know, I know he did say he would take, you know, that small, but once you get to 200 million, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna fight for pennies. So, you know, that's absurd. You know, and I think him asking for this type of money is absurd. You know, because we know no U.S. promoter could come up with this type of money for a fight like this. It's gonna be have to be Saudi Arabia. You know, that they come out here and produce this type of money. But you know, I want to see how his fans feel about this. You know, it's blatant ducking. You know, David Benavidez has been the mandatory. You know, he beat Plant, he beat Demetrius Andrade, so he's the mandatory for the WBC championship. I don't know, you know, what's been the hold up with, you know, the fight not being, you know, made a mandatory, but Mauricio Suleiman and NWC don't want to ruin that relationship with Canelo Alvarez again, because, you know, they did have a falling out when Canelo got stripped and Golovkin became WBC champion, and they were trying to force Canelo to fight Golovkin. Kind of, you know, and now Mauricio Suleiman is being, you know, he's kind of tucking his tail and saying he's trying to stay on that Canelo, you know, money train, and he's never been good for the sport, in my opinion. I've never been a fan of Mauricio Suleiman, but he's been around. But yeah, it's a shame, you know. It's really a shame. His fans are not gonna say anything. They're gonna make excuses. I'm pretty sure somebody, some way, Canelo Alvarez fan will make excuses. But how can you say this is not, you know, him trying not to make the fight? Because who can come up with that type of money besides Saudi Arabia? That's the only, you know, situation I could see happening. But that's a large sum, and I can see why, you know, people are trying to get away from boxing, because, you know, stuff like this. This isn't beneficial to boxing. This is basically keeping boxing on the back burner. Guys don't want to fight each other. You scared to make fights, and you gotta price yourself out. It's always something in boxing. So I can see why, you know, people are you know, kind of irritated with it. But I'm just, you know, calling a spade a spade. You know, this doesn't look proper. It doesn't. A lot of people, you can't make an excuse and say, oh yeah, you know, Canelo deserves. It's a lot of money. And I don't think he's going to generate that type of money with a David Benavidez. That's just what it is. He might not want to admit to it, but with that type of money you're asking for, you're going to have to actually go out there and talk in promotions and sell yourself and sell to the fans, sell the fight actually. And, you know, Canelo doesn't really sell the fight. You know, he's just a part of the fight, you know, because he's a known commodity and he lets that sell for him. But when you ask for that type of money, you got to go out there and get the casuals on board and make sure the casuals knows about the fight. And Canelo really doesn't do that, you know. I'm pretty sure that, you know, the Hispanic community, Hispanic and, you know, Mexican community are gonna start holding him, you know, to a standard and holding him accountable for not fighting David Benavidez. You know, I would love that. I think I do a good job of holding all fighters accountable, if we being honest. Cause this is just him being the P word. You know, I don't want to cuss on YouTube. The P word though, it's him being the P word. Call it what you want. You might not like it, but I think that David Benavidez deserves a shot. And for him to say this, you know, it's basically saying, I'm not fighting him. I'm not going to give him a shot, and he should just move on, which I think David Benavidez should just go on and do. Because nobody's coming up with $200 million for a David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez fight. And it's actually going to be more than $200 million, but, you know, nobody's coming up with that. That's no knock to, you know, David Benavidez. I do think he deserves a shot, but Canelo doesn't, you know, sell fights enough to where he can sell, you know, 1 million US pay-per-view buys, you know. Just, you know, you're going to have to do, you know, a lot of pay-per-view buys. I don't think he US. I'm not saying, you know, I'm saying US. If he wants to generate that type of money. But I don't see anybody but Saudi Arabia coming up with it, you know. That's just my opinion, but I don't think it's going to get done. It was just basically Canelo saying, I'm not fighting David Benavidez. I'm never going to fight David Benavidez, so just let it go. If you come up with the money, I might think about it. And that's what he did. You know, he's basically saying that, in my opinion. That's what I think. You know, I think it's basically BS, and this is why the sport is in shambles. Because we have cowardice things like this going on. I think this is a very coward move, in my opinion, but you know, I've been trying to tell people that, you know, that Canelo be moving funny. I've been trying to tell people. I think that's why I started, you know. I'm glad I get to voice my opinion because people be, you know, he's moving funny. This is BS. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on if you want to find me on Facebook. My Facebook is in the description. LOE Visuals. I love you guys so much. I'm out.